God, Upper Moon 1 fight should cook. Zenitsu's fight should absolutely cook. Even the Akaza fight, sneaky contender, I think. I just think with everything that
I ain't
they've
gonna
done
lie. I
for the
think you
culture,
sleeping on
Upper Moon
Inosuke.
2.
I don't think Dogma. Yeah, I think you sleeping on Inosuke, Konai. Yeah, that fight is about to be electric. I'm gonna let you know right now because I don't know if you remember the dynamic between Upper
no, I
Two
completely
and
agree. It
Inosuke's
just slipped my
mom.
mind. Yeah, it just slipped. Yeah,
Shinobu and them and their mentor.
It
a lot of
slipped my
layers.
mind.
It's a lot of layers to that fight. That fight might be the most emotional game.
And we were talking. Riddell got it. Fellas. I'm willing to have this discussion. I think Demon Slayer is the best anime adaptation of all time. I need somebody to convince me that it should not be in that discussion. What they've done,
I really can't argue you.
What they've done, going viral multiple times. Like J-Rob, Tengen Gyutaro is still feeding families, and that shit happened 2 years ago. What they did in this arc, they had 6 chapters. They made 8 episodes, perfectly enhancing the whatever this little filler arc thing was. You could even argue, Loki, they might have had the greatest filler arc Loki of all time if you want to be like that. But no. But if you're looking at Miles, this brings me back to when we was watching Heaven's Feel, bro. And we was watching Archer fight Assassin, and he was pausing between takes. And Ufotable is the best in the game right now. Ufotable is the best in the game right now. The fact that they picked up Lonnie Omniscient Reader's viewpoint. I can't say the name right now because I'm too.
It's Omniscient Reader, technically.
Omniscient Reader, and that's about that low key. Perfect for them. They pick quality instead of quantity. And go watch that last episode from the walk to everybody fall into the castle. Every single piece of it was perfect. And we got a little Stone Hashira. Like we got to see him actually throw a little bit of hands too. I thought he was impressive. And
somebody might.
I just think that Demons, we're gonna be talking about this. We're gonna be telling our kids about what they did with Demon Slayer. And if these movies hit the way they're gonna hit, fellas, I'm about to be nasty if this trilogy hits the way I think it's gonna hit.
Now, the only reason why I can give that argument some credit now, do I, from based on opinion, think is going to be the best anime adaptation ever? I already know how the story ends, so no, I don't.
I trust you, man. I trust.
But I'm gonna say this. The reason why I'm gonna give it some, I'm willing to entertain it, is because we can't only just measure greatness in, our. It's how good just the story is. Like we're gonna have to measure this one based off like its, ticket sales, public consumption, video games, merchandise. Like the same way we look at like the Naruto's, the One Pieces, the Dragon Ball Z's. Demon Slayer is going to have that level of impact, I think, especially the way this thing's about to finish out. I got to give it its credit in that regard, but I don't think it's the best ever at all. But if somebody said it's in their top 3 or top 5, I think with the success it's had, it does. I can't say it doesn't deserve it.
Jared, look at what Demon Slayer's done in Lonnie. I'm gonna let you go. All right, obviously, completely enhanced the source material. Completely did, right? Multiple times it goes viral. A candidate, which in my opinion, I think Tengen Gyutaro is the best anime fight of all time. I think it is. Just from giving you for 6 episodes of just peak, everybody throwing hands. Even Tengen's wives got a little love. It was great.
It's the best fight so far in the anime.
And God, Upper Moon 1 fight should cook. Zenitsu's fight should absolutely cook. Even the Akaza fight, sneaky contender, I think. I just think with everything that
I ain't gonna lie, I think you're sleeping on
Upper Moon
2. I don't think Dogma. Yeah, I think you sleeping on Inosuke, Konai. Yeah, that fight is about to be electric. I'm gonna let you know right now. I don't know if you remember the dynamic between Upper Two.
I completely agree.
Inosuke's mom.
My mind. Yeah, it just
Shinobu and them and their mentor.
It's a lot of layers to that fight. That fight might be the most emotional game.
And we were talking about it in the Discord because on Friday when Sandra was playing it, and I threw it out there, and a lot of people think we're just talking animation when we talk about that Tengen fight. If you just think it's, first of all, animation, and when it comes to fights itself, I think animation is a big part of it, Miles. I think it's a big part, but the character work, the voice acting, the effects, the fact that at one point, bro, when Tanjiro is running away with Nezuko in that box, when it looked like all hope was lost, and you was like, damn, I get it, bro. And then all it was just a trap card by Tanjiro to try and cut Gyutaro's head off. It's perfect from like for they gave you a Dragon Ball Z level like length of a fight, but everything was great. Every single piece of it.
Yeah, it's Demon Slayer visually beautiful, bro.
I think what they've done should be studied. What they've done with this thing should be absolutely studied.
They really raised the standard.
We was talking about Mappa taking on Wild Strawberry. Not after what I watched this past weekend.
Yeah, Ufotable will be
Ufotable will cook with Wild Strawberry. With the colors, they would cook, bruh. Oh my god.
I think saying Demon Slayer is the best anime adaptation. Honestly, I don't think it's a crazy take, especially when the anime adaptation is better than the manga. That doesn't happen. That just does not happen.
Facts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's new, but can I throw Blue Lock in there?
I'm gonna be honest with you, gang. I'm gonna be honest with you
because
as the Blue Lock. Go ahead.
No, because I was gonna say if we're projecting because if they animate what just happened with Kaiser, well, I mean it has a say. It has a say at that table.
I agree with that, but I'm gonna be honest. I think when they came out with season 1, I don't think they was ready for how big it was going to be because there does need to be a bit of an upgrade in animation coming in season 2 that I am expecting. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. It was good. The storyline was good, but Blue Lock does need a repaint in season 2, and I hope they realize with the money that they just made, they do that because there does need to be a bit of a like some of these kicks, some of like just the little pieces. They gotta up the ante a little bit. I do.
The U20 movie has to be. I'm sorry, it has to be.
That's where
it has to be like a top 3 anime movie.
Come on now.
I think the bar should be raised, especially in this Nagi movie that's coming out. Like if they really show out here, like I mean, Demon Slayer is fantastic. Like I was telling Random, like that Tengen fight really upped the bar on animation throughout anime.
Facts.
If they do this Nagi movie and they show out, I mean, they have a word in that argument.
I just want to see them auras. Them auras they gotta put them details in them auras. Like when we see that luck piece, it better be shining, fresh gold. You know what I'm saying? It gotta make sense. You know, like
for sure. And guys, they 100% need to lock in for Blue Lock. But I feel like the only real contender from how they started to now and hoping that they continuously improve, it has to be Jujutsu Kaisen. The Jujutsu Kaisen is the only one that I'm like could potentially contend with Demon Slayer as the best anime adaptation, especially considering that their most detailed and creative fightings is coming up. So if they can knock that out of the park, and basically, we know what happened with the Sukuna Maharaga whatever situation, but they brought in Blu-ray to fix that. Like we got Blu-ray, it's fine now. So if they just have that type of quality consistently throughout, they can.
My only thing is, I penalize them for. I understand that you're making, but Demon Slayer doesn't have to worry about that. And the one anybody who thinks Tengen Gyutaro is not, there's a shot like halfway through that fight where you see the cameras panning over everybody who's fighting on there. You're watching Gyutaro and Tengen. They're fighting, and it's not like, oh, they're just kind of moving. They're doing actual moves. The choreography is insane. Meanwhile, at the same time, you're watching Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke fighting Daki, and they're all doing different moves. Like, I need you guys to understand how insane that is. The level of detail it took to create that. And also, don't forget, Tengen's wives are running around in the back, like going places to support. Like they have 9 characters on screen, J-Rob, at once, all doing something very important. So
I'm not. Listen, Demon Slayer. When it comes to the visuals, I'm not arguing nothing about what you're saying right now.
I don't tax it random because even without the Blu-ray, I think it's still on par with the Tengen fight. Like it's still in the same tier without the Blu-ray. And then when you add in the Blu-ray,
I disagree.
I think Kaiju number 8 is gonna have something to. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna chill. We're gonna get to Let's Get Negative.
You can't say it's gonna, and then you gotta cook it. Like
my only pushback to the Sukuna Maraga fight is it does this thing that I think I was talking to Random about it. In Demon Slayer, you can literally pause frame by frame, and it doesn't have that muddy Mob Psycho art type thing. It doesn't have the Naruto Pain type of drawing. Like everything's a lot more. It still does, but not as much.
Dirty. Yeah,
it's not as much. But that would be my only pushback to it. Even though it is an art style, you know, but in terms of animation, like literally, they're the Unreal Engine. They're just top.
If you don't believe us, Miles, tell them to do the thing we did. Go watch that fight and pause it. Just pause at different points, and the amount of detail, frame by frame, that they're
and everything's drawn. Everything's drawn.
Oh
everything's shaded. Nothing's
even the CGI.
Muddy.
The CGI is put in perfectly. Got that explosion. The explosion alone of Ubuyashiki's mansion. Then you see the detail when Muzan has to regenerate. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Like, if I was an animator in the West, I'd be like, let me go talk to them because they're doing something we need to understand. And they're doing that with a less budget than most Western cartoons work with. So I'm telling y'all, man.
Y'all are leading to my agenda because with Uvitobo, that's why